Welcome back. This is Newslink right here on eNCA, and in the past few weeks, City Power has been on a drive to recover outstanding electricity bills owed to them. But today their focus is in Lenasia, just south of Johannesburg, where customers owe a whopping 20 million rand and face being cut off in some areas. Well, City Power officials have been chased away by hostile residents and denied access to homes as well as businesses. Now, our reporter Bafedile Moerane is following through with the story and joins us now for an update. And Bafedile, we can definitely see City Power in action as they continue to cut off connection out in Lenasia. Give us this update, colleague. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Tumelo. We are in the first residential place. We understand that today here in Lenasia, City Power will actually be targeting about 7 businesses plus other residential areas. So where we are, it is a residential area. It's the first point of the start of the operation this morning. So we have had City Power having to say that they are definitely going to take action. They are not missing their words when they are saying that they are on the ground to ensure that they recover all the money that is owed to them. They're saying, the City Power is saying that they are losing about 27 million annually due to non-payment of the prepaid. So they are saying that they have no other alternative but to go on the ground and ensure that they recover their money in that fashion. So at this point in time, as I've indicated, is the first point of cut-off. It's a residential area. They didn't find the owners here, and the meters were locked up. They had to break the locks, and as you see on a camera there, they are busy switching off. But at this point, I'm going to be joined by the City Power Lenasia Service Delivery Center Manager, Mr. Nelson Ravuku. Mr. Ravuku, how many places from here are we going to, and how much is it owed to City Power in this area? Does this really yield any positive results? Because it's not the first time we've seen you here down in Lenasia.
No, thanks. No, it is yielding result because this customer, they will have to come and pay a 15% deposit before we reconnect and they make arrangement. So we're still going to 6 places. The amount that today we are owed by this 6 customer is more than 20 million. But in total, when we check our debt book, Lenasia, we are owed more than 1 billion by this customer who are illegally connecting themselves. Thank you.
So we are here. This is a residential area. How much do this particular one, this residential area we are at, owes City Power, and how come the money accumulated? Why didn't you come at an early stage?
So if you look at this, it's not only, it's a residential and business. So we've got the business down, and then we've got resident up. So the total amount that they are owing us, it's 4.4 million rand. So what happened with these customers, if you check today, we're disconnecting them. We're applying level 3 cutoff. So we cut them, and then they reconnect themselves, and then we cut them. So before we apply level 3 cutoff, so we need to cut you 2 times. So this one is the 3rd time. That's why we're applying level 3 cutoff, where we're going to also remove the cable.
So this is not the first time we see the operation taking place by City Power. Last week you were in Naturena, you've been to Midrand and all that. Have you seen any positive feedback from those who you have already cut off coming forward to pay the 15% that you are saying that is expected before you reconnect?
The 15%, it's on the residential 50% on the business, but so far we've seen improvement. So the customer, they are coming forward to make payment. So we are, I will say, like, we are getting somewhere. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ravuku. He is the City Power Lenasia Service Delivery Center General Manager. And they're saying that, Tumelo, they are seeing positive results since they implemented this cut-off operation. The city, it has indicated that it is losing about over 27 million due to non-payment of the electricity. And we've had ESCOM at some point having to highlight that This is one of the contributing factors to the challenges or the crisis they are experiencing at this point, the non-payment of municipalities, Tumelo. So we are going to the next point from here, as we are seeing the officials from City Power, which are accompanied by heavily armed security, having to continue with the operation.
Just before I say goodbye to you, Bafedile Moerane, I mean, we can definitely see that City Power is still continuing on with their efforts. And previously we had made mention of some residents actually resisting having a pushback, some coming there lamenting their concerns, telling the media, including ourselves right here on eNCA, that City Power was not meant to disconnect them. From where you stand right now, are there any community members, are there any residents, any business owners, as of course these connections are being disconnected?
Not at this point. We're just only seeing bystanders at this point. Earlier on when we arrived, I've highlighted Tumelo to say that the residents here were actually, they had locked, in fact, this particular point where you're seeing this meter that they are now switching off. So they had to take action by breaking the locks, and then they are busy at this point switching off. There was a gentleman who came downstairs here, whom they asked as to who is the owner, and several questions as to are they paying rent at this point. Then he's saying that they are paying rent, and he doesn't understand as to why the owner is not taking responsibility to ensure that the money reaches City Power. So no resistance at this point. We are still going to other 6 more places, as the general manager in the area has alluded earlier on. So we are definitely going to see what's going to pan out when we arrive in such areas.
All right, Bafedile, and we'll make sure that we do come back to you as soon as there are any updates or developments on this issue. Of course, as we see City Power quite intentional in moving along to disconnect any non-compliant, non-paying residents, business owners or communities at this point. They are in Lenasia, just south of Johannesburg, with our reporter eNCA's Bafedile Moerane. With that being